Hey everyone, how's it going? Alright, so, oops, there we go. Gonna move me a little bit there. I'm just gonna wait till everyone catches up here in a second, then I'll go ahead and start. Perfect. Alright. Okay, the reason why I'm doing this stream is because Doreen was supposed to be just a tropical storm, and pretty quickly it has, according to the news and NOAA, it has gradually grown into what might be a Category 2 to a Category 4 hurricane. I'm sorry, Category 3 hurricane by the time it lands on either Sunday or Monday on the east coast of Florida. Yesterday, I actually went out doing normal shopping, which is rare, but I went and picked up a couple things at a grocery store, and I saw people purchasing stuff that it won't. How do I say this? You won't be able to use during the hurricane if we lose power. And today, I've been seeing a lot of comments on Facebook. What do I do? I've moved down here from the west, or I've moved down here from the north, or, I lived with my parents at the time that we really had some hurricanes come through. What do I do? I've been through this more than a few times. Lived in Florida all my life. Lived in this Pasco County area all my life. And unfortunately, back in 2005, 2006, we actually lost power for about 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. It was rough. And I was still going to work every single day at Lowe's at the time. So I just wanted to kind of give away some helpful hints um, for everyone. First off, let's go over the path of the hurricane. Um, this is, by the way, Fox 13. They own the rights to all this. I hope they don't mind me screen sharing their stuff. All the links to both this page and to a couple of their prep guides are in the link description. If they're not in there while I'm streaming, I will be sure to add it in there after the streaming is completed. I have also put in there the show notes for today, as a view only. So basically, it's it's down here right now, but they're thinking it is going to get to this point, mid-Atlantic, by 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. on Friday, and then slowly make its way to Florida. Now, this is where you have some people that are really freaking out, some people that are just not taking it seriously. This yellow cone here, as they have said and described last night, today, since the beginning, that's the cone of error. Basically, what happens if, for the past 5 years, they have this data that tells them how far off they were at certain points in the forecasting. They will then add that cone of error to the track. It does not mean it is definitely going to come through the center. That is the average of all of the spaghetti models that are currently happening. If you don't know what I mean by spaghetti models, here it is right here. There are a bunch of different. Sorry, I'm just turning down my phone. But all my phone wants to do is take snapshots of my computer. Alright, so you saw the spaghetti models. There's a ton of different ones. And that's now a commercial for Sonic. Alright, so anyways, while that's going through that, let me go ahead and show you what I have here. Sorry, if I can get to it. Here we go. Okay, there we go, guys. Okay, so first and foremost, this is, even though I am using the Complete IT live stream, this is in no way Complete IT. This is myself and myself only, Thomas Jella. In no way, shape, or form are the opinions or guides of this live stream those of Complete IT. Just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. We're in an office, so someone just walked in because I forgot to put the sign. Go me. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. Uh, not construction. Please use your best judgment. These are just things that I've used in the past that have helped me and my family. So first and foremost, if you have a tub, usually the day before the hurricane, we'll fill one tub up with some water, usually halfway. Why? Because if you fill up all the tubs, then you can't take a shower. If you still have water, you still want to take a shower if you can. You can get rank pretty quickly, depending on how your BO, body odor is. The reason why you fill up the bathtub with water, or if you don't have a bathtub, because you have walk-in showers, I get a couple of buckets of water, is because in toilets, if you take a bucket of water and then you slowly pour it into a toilet, at least the older ones, I'm not sure how the new high efficiency ones are. Usually it will cause it for gravity to take over, and it will basically flush your toilet for you. If you want to put it in the back of the toilet to press, and have it do its thing, you can do that too. I'm just, this is a way so that you don't have to use the saying, if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow. Okay, I'm just saying. So that's kind of a cool tip. Windows. You are going to have people coming around your neighborhood for the foreseeable future, for the next three to 4 days, saying, hey, do you need wood put up? Hey, I can do this for you. Hey, cash is king. I can do it for free, blah, blah, blah. This is the problem with that. They're not, you need to make sure that they're licensed. You need to make sure that they're insured. When I worked for Lowe's, this is way back when I was a drafter, and even about 4 years ago, I heard of this happening when we had some really bad storms in the Panhandle and down south. People were just hiring people off the street to put up these storm shelters or storm shutters or plywood, and they were damaging the home more so than the storm did once it passed. So maybe you just got a lot of rain, maybe you just got a lot of wind, but maybe somebody put in a screw into the wood, and instead of going into the wall of your home, it shattered your glass. Now you're having to pay for that. A lot of people are getting upset. It's crazy, I know. So what I suggest is when someone comes around or when you call someone, make sure they're listed on SunBiz. It's very simple, even for storm cleanup. I know there's a thing that people, you don't know if they're legitimate or not. Just go to sunbiz.org and you can tell if they are a legitimate business, if they're registered. And then if you want to know if they have insurance, ask them for their insurance papers. It's very simple. A lot of people still use screws. A lot of people do not know that you can actually buy these handy dandy clips. We used to sell these all the time at Lowe's way back when. I'm not sure if they have anything else nowadays, but this is just off of Amazon. Again, links in the paperwork that should be in the description. You just put it on the plywood and then you push it in, and it works. However, it will damage your house. It has spikes for a reason. So, just, use common sense. That's all I'm asking. Use common sense. It will damage your house, without a doubt. You might have to repaint. You might have to, restucco a couple of things, depending on how your home was built. Just use best judgment. If you don't know how to use best judgment, or you really don't know what to do, just call a professional. That's all we're asking. Food. My favorite subject. I cannot stress this enough. And by the way, I do have the chat box open. So if you want to chat with me, see, hello, it will actually display. Reload. Hello. See? So if you want to use the chat in YouTube, or if you want to use the chat in Facebook, it will get through to me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that I have or refer you to a lot of people um, that I know. So food. Yesterday, going to the grocery store, which is kind of what set all this off, I saw people grabbing TV dinners. Um, and I'm just going to read off my thing because it's way easier. So, what food to purchase? Last year, before I Googled myself when I shouldn't have. I saw people purchasing Coke, beer, wine, everything but water. I also saw people purchasing TV dinners and food that required a lot of heat or refrigeration in order to cook or to keep fresh. If you end up with no power, how will you keep the fridge uh, cool in order to keep it safe and fresh? How will you microwave a TV dinner if you don't have electric? If you have a gas stove and an on-site gas tank, hey, you're golden. Awesome. You are going to be the life of the party. You're going to be the party place. If you're the only one on the block, you'll be cooking for everyone if no one has power. Just to let you know that. That's just proper etiquette. So be prepared. Just kidding. But that would be nice. If you have that, offer it to your neighbors. If you have a gas stove and are connected to the grid, however, if they shut off the grid because there's a leak, you don't have gas in your home. So keep that in mind. Just because you have a gas stove doesn't mean anything. If there's a leak somewhere and they have to cut off the grid, not only for electric but also for gas, you will be cut off from that. So please don't just assume you'll have it. What I suggest is buying bottles of water or jugs. Publix yesterday had 2 pallets. Miami and the south east coast, they're running out already. Please don't buy more than you need to. If you're, it's just me and my wife, I bought a case. Bought a case of water. Doesn't mean I'm going to drink the entire case in one day. It means that I'm going to have water for a few days, just in case something happens, until I can replenish. It does not mean I need to stock up my entire storm shelter if I had one. Just saying, just enough to get you by. Because when the storm hits, I hope Publix and Walmart, depending on how bad it is, will shut the doors because those people need to be home with their family members as well. I do suggest having some type of nutrient drink with you, either Gatorade or Powerade. Do not just get Powerade or Gatorade because that'd be bad. There's too much sugar in them. But as a side nutrient drink, I think it would be fantastic. Canned foods that don't need to be cooked, and as Charlie actually mentioned to me earlier, if it doesn't have the pill off top, and you have an electric can opener, you need to get a hand cork one. We don't have an electric one. We had a hand cork one, but I didn't think about that earlier when I was going over this with someone else, with a couple people. You will need a hand can opener if you don't have an electric one. So, just think about if you are in the middle of the woods, campfire, camp food. Very, very simple. Vienna sausages. I put a link to Publix in there. That's what I got. I got some Vienna sausages, got some canned tuna, got some crackers, some chips, got some bread. If you have a big cooler that can hold a lot of, not a lot of food, but just, something for a couple days. I'm not saying burgers would be nice. Just saying. However, keep in mind that you have to keep ice in it. So if it's a cooler that you have to put ice every 2 hours, no bueno. If it's a cooler that you can put ice in it and it lasts for a day or two, that's what I'm talking about. Publix also, now that I know this, sells dry ice. However, you cannot touch it with your bare hands. Okay? It's way too cold. And also, it's so cold, instead of it just keeping your stuff cool, it would freeze it more so. So just keep that in mind. I don't know if dry ice is a good thing. I've never experimented with it. If you have, please put in the comments below so everyone else will know. One thing that sucks during the hurricane is gas. I have 2 bars out of my 10 on my truck, which means I'm right below a quarter of a tank. I have a commercial truck. I have to be active before, partially during, and after the hurricane. We have clients. Plain and simple. My wife's car, I'll have if it has a half a tank, great. I'm not gonna really get more gas in it, or three quarters of a tank. I'm not gonna put any more gas in it. There's no reason to. There really isn't. Everything's gonna be closed. If it's a bad hurricane, everything will be closed. McDonald's will take some time to get, first of all, they have to have electric, but a lot of people don't realize you can't, like, right after the hurricane, you cannot just go to Chili's. You can't. It takes half a day, 2 days. Puerto Rico, certain parts of Puerto Rico still don't have power, guys. I'm not saying it's going to be that bad. I don't think it would. They got hit pretty hard. But what I'm saying is that just keep in mind, use some common sense. We're going to fill up our trucks tonight, but we're also not going to go gallivanting on Saturday and Sunday. If we don't have to go out of the office, we're not going to. What happens when you do this? We don't have a run on gas. There's already places down south that are out of gas. From what I've heard Valrico is already out of gas in certain places. And if they're not, it's at least a 30-minute to 60-minute wait for gas. It's ridiculous. Do not go out and get gas for your, I come up with a really fun thing here. Don't get gas for your truck, your kids' vehicles, your lawnmower, your go-kart, and every spare gas can that you have. Just don't. It makes it a lot easier. They'll get trucks in eventually to replenish the gas stations. Just give it time. Generators. I do have to say this right now. Be careful with them. I knew a couple people that if I didn't tell them, they probably would have hurt themselves already. You cannot run a generator in your garage with your garage door being shut. Generators put off, I believe it's carbon dioxide. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't look it up beforehand. I don't know if that's the proper term or not. But it's a dangerous fume that comes off of it. It's the same type that comes off your car. You can't breathe in the air that comes out of your exhaust pipe because it will kill you. The same thing happens with generators. So you have to exhaust that gas outside. If you have your garage door open, fine. It should be fine. Depending on your garage door. Don't listen to what I said. It could be anything. But I also have heard people that have ran the generator in the live streaming. Give me 5 minutes. I've also had people that have ran the generator in their garage and then had the garage door closed and kept opening the garage door between the home and the garage. And I'm like, you can't do that. You're letting all those gases inside your house. You can't do that. So, also, I saw this last year. Do not go out and buy generators from Home Depot and stuff and then return them. As an ex-retail person, that's really annoying. It really is. If you're not going to keep the generator to use for future purposes, do not just buy it to, like, rent it and then return it. That's really wrong. It not only hurts the big box stores, it really does. It hurts the small companies on the backside. Because if you return it and you say it's a bad generator because it wouldn't start, all Home Depot and Lowe's does is they send it back to the original manufacturer and they get dinged for it. Home Depot and Lowe's doesn't. And all those people in there, it's just going to be hard on them because they're heavy. And so if you need a generator and you're actually going to use it, use it. Do not return it afterwards. By this time, it's too late to try to connect that to your house. However, I do know of an electrician. So if you still need that, let me know. I can see if I can pull in some favors to see if that is possible, but it's up to them. They are a licensed and insured company. I think that's it. Does anyone have any questions? No one has any questions. Perfect. Well, you have our website, you have our phone number, you have the comments below. If you have any additional questions, please let us know. I greatly appreciate it because this. Oh, wrong one. Oi. Come on, bring it back. There we go. It's not a laughing matter, but we really don't know what's going to happen until it gets closer. So don't freak out. Don't think it's nothing. Just take it one day at a time, please. If you have any questions, like I said, comments below. Let us know. We'll be here. Hopefully, we'll be doing these live streams throughout the weekend. We'll see how well that works. And get back with you guys. Thank you. Please stand by. Thank you to the Fox 13 for letting me use your stuff. Please don't get on to me for using it. I'm giving you free advertising.